Hello, listeners, and welcome to this special episode of FF Plus. I'm your host, Aaron, and tonight we are going to predict the future of cinema. But before I go over all of the details on how this movie draft will work, let me introduce my fellow competitors. With me, I have longtime guest, friend of the show, and my partner in crafting these movie drafts here at Feelin Film, Don Shanahan from Every Movie Has a Lesson and Cinephile Hissy Fit podcast.
Hello, everybody. How you doing? Thanks for having us over here. Aaron already screwed up by calling this competitors. This is supposed to be an exercise.
That's right. That's right. We're going to tone down the competitiveness for this one.
Deep down, you know it.
People who've listened to these before and know your history, Don, know that that's going to be tough for you. Appearing here on Feelin Film for the very first time ever, I am really excited to welcome Patrick Beatty.
Hey, thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to do this. Honestly, I know nothing about fantasy anything, so this is the first time I've delved into any fantasy drafts for anything. I'm going to lose, but I'm going to have fun doing it.
That is the key. Don't let Don sway you. That is the key. Just have fun, and you'll be fine. And we won't take advantage of you at all, I promise.
Oh, sure, yeah.
And also here for the first time, someone I have wanted to podcast with for a long time, Zoe Rosebrien.
Hello, thank you so much for having me as well. I'm so excited to talk about what the rest of the 2020s hold for cinema and our directors, so let's go.
All right. Well, since you guys are both new to the show, Patrick and Zoe, I would love to just briefly get a quick history of your experience with film criticism. Where do you write or podcast? You're both part of some amazing organizations and you've done work all over the place. So, Patrick, I'm going to start with you. Where can people find your stuff? Like, what are you up to out there?
Well, if you guys are locally, have any, there's an echo when I'm talking in this. We've just solved the echo problem, and now it's happening to me. So I'm just going to unplug it while I say the thing. You can find me on ABC4, Good Things Utah, if you're local to Utah or you have any fans that are there. PatrickBeattyReviews.com, my YouTube channel. I've been recently just branching out and doing a lot more podcasting with great people like you, and that's where you can find me.
Awesome. Zoe, what about you?
So it's a funny story, actually. I used to just write reviews on Letterboxd, and then I got found by the editor of Loud and Clear Reviews, and I wrote for them for a couple years. And then last year I joined Next Best Picture and Awards Watch, and then this summer I joined We Live Entertainment, where I'm the awards editor for them. So I'm kind of all over the place, like you said. But yeah, primarily now I do awards editing. And then I also still write reviews for NBP and Awards Watch.
Awesome. Yeah, you are, I think, for sure, of the four of us, the awards person. Like, you are the one who's plugged in. People need to follow you on Twitter. You are a fantastic follow. The rest of us tweet some, but like, you are always on and always sharing your opinions, and I absolutely love it. I love your honesty on Twitter too, because you're not afraid to admit a thirst trap.
But yeah, that is my fatal flaw. But
hey, it happens to us all. All right. Well, for the details of how this draft is going to work, each of us is representing the head of a new film studio, and our goal is to hire a team of 10 directors each, who we think will have the best combined awards and box office success over the next decade. And that decade is defined as 2020 through 2029. So we are considering what has already been released up until this point in this, draft process. This is entirely predictive in nature. And so we're going to have to take into account director age and the potential for growth as we kind of strategize our way through this. Our aim is to end up with a diverse group of talent who can take our studio to the top. The draft is going to be done in a snake format, which means we will choose our starting positions. I'm going to do that here in just a second. We'll go 1 through 4, and then we will go 4, 3, 2, 1, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, back and forth like that, so that the person who is fourth doesn't get completely disadvantaged. They end up with these two back-to-back picks. And we'll just do that until we each have 10. After the episode has been out for a couple of days, this will be up on the podcast feed as well as on our YouTube channel at Feelin Film. We will then post a poll on social media probably mainly on Twitter. It'll be in the Feelin Film Facebook discussion group as well, but the Twitter one tends to get a lot more votes and eyes on it. And we'll let the listeners have a say on what they think about our predictions and which one maybe that they see as the one that will have the most success. And then, if I can remember, I'm going to set a reminder in my phone for 2029. I'm not kidding. I'm going to do this. Now, there's no way I'm going to have the same phone. So I'm sure this is going to like completely fall apart on me. Maybe I'll do it on Gmail calendar. That way it won't go away, right? But I am going to try and set a reminder so that we can come back and look at this at the end of 2029 and maybe have another poll and see which one of us was more correct. Because that'd be fun if I can remember to do that. All right. Well, with that out of the way, so here is the draft order. I'm going to click randomize and
Ooh, drum roll.
we're going to find out. I actually have no idea what the beneficial placing is for this. I don't know if it's better to go
either.
first
That's a good question.
or not, but here we go. All right.
Yes.
There it is.
I'll take
so
it.
it's going to
I'll
be
take it.
Dawn, Zoe, Patrick, and myself. Let me quickly, before we get going here, let me switch this screen over to... Can you guys now see the draft board, essentially?
Yep.
Okay, good. Ignore the non-fanciness of this. It's just a bare bones, but hey,
we were
it's
tinkering
something.
with like classroom stuff and PowerPoint and Jeopardy boards. We were struggling this week, y'all.
We were, absolutely. And so here we go. This is it. We're gonna start up, and Dawn, you have the first pick. No pressure.
I do. Oh, I was ready for 1 through 4. Like I wouldn't mind that serpentine at 4 where you get 4 and 5, but I'll take this 1 and come back to 8 situation. The number one I attempted to kind of do some homework here a little bit and be a dork. I tried to map out way too many people. I have like a board of like 107 directors. Trying to kind of move and shift them around. I know I way overdid it. Sorry in advance. No, when I think of this, in terms of successful studio sort of thing, I think of what you think of in terms of obviously not just prestige, but also some profitability and all that stuff like that. I need to come up with, before the end of this draft, a clever name for my fake studio because I think that would be fun.
That would be fun.
But that would be fun. So be thinking of it between now and pick 10, y'all. My number one pick is my number one director on the board, and in terms of just in my opinion, awards level quality, but also just intrigue and sizzle and age and just potential for what they've done already to this point and what they can do in another 10 years. I'm taking Damien Chazelle. I have to. Damien Chazelle. Lock it in. TJ Hushmanzada Championship. But yeah, for me, it's obviously he's an Oscar winner where sometimes you see that situation where can a guy get another bite at that apple or get another win in their career? We've seen some folks go their whole careers and never get an Oscar, let alone a second. But I think the intriguing thing for me is Damien's a good worker in terms of just, being able to create fantastic cinema. He's not a budget breaking kind of guy where he's not going to cost you $200 million a film. And he's his popularity in terms of just with us film fans and then also casual fans is growing enough where I think he's a good balance of somebody who can bring your studio prestige, maybe some Oscar hardware that to put on the shelves and on the resume, but then also some commercial success or enough creativity to kind of just have eyes on what he does. And to me, that's I'll be the person who does the hyperbole thing. He's the best young director working today, in my opinion, and that's kind of where I'm at.
I feel like this is a personal attack on myself because you knew he would be number one on my list as well. But that is an incredible choice. Like, was definitely my first pick if I had gotten it as well. And I agree with everything you said about his mixture of profitability and awards possibility. And that's going to be the trick here in this draft, is trying to get as many of those directors as you can, and then kind of fill it out around the fringe with ones that are way more likely to have Oscar success or award success, and ones that are way more likely to have monetary success.
All right,
I've already forgotten the order. Who is?
Yeah, I'm going to leave and come back since
Okay.
I got to wait all the way until 8. You know, I'm kidding. I got to know what happens.
All right, Zoe, you're up.
Okay, so Damien Chazelle was also my number one, but I do have a backup, and this is a bit of a heavy hitter, a strategic pick, because I have some more obscure directors on my list, but, you know, thinking about what this director has coming up this decade, and later this year, and in terms of how big these films are, how much they can dominate the box office, and how much they can, you know, delight awards voters, I'm going with James Cameron. I know. I think I did consider.
I'm shocked.
Yeah,
Shocked.
I think that Avatar, you know, has a higher box office threshold than Dune. And of course, the first one was impacted by COVID and the HBO Max thing. But looking ahead, I think even if it doesn't match the original movie, it will still do very well for itself, especially over the holiday corridor, which I think all the sequels are set up for now. And I really think this first sequel especially will get a lot of people to revisit Pandora and be really excited about that. I think that, you know, the tech departments at the Oscars will really rally around it. So that's my number one.
It's a good pick. I definitely agree with you.
Pick.
If this movie hits the way that it possibly could, and James Cameron has never missed, let's be real, then the fact that there are these three or four, however many, 7, I don't even know, set up, and many of them are this decade.
Right.
Like you could literally just, you're going to, you know, piggyback off of that success repeatedly. So no, it's great. It's a great choice. All right, Patrick, your first ever fantasy pick of anything, maybe?
Mm-hmm.
It's exciting.
Oh boy! All right, so here's
Don't mess
my
it up.
speech.
No, I'm kidding.
So I went with Ryan Coogler with this. I'll just spoil it.
No, that's great. It's a good pick. Yeah.
I think he's one of the directors that anytime he comes into a project or he has a vision, it's something that he's emotionally 100% involved with. And that only builds his box office record, in my opinion. Like, you need directors that have that heart, and I think Ryan Coogler has that in spades. With what he's able to do with either low-budget films or massive $200 million films, he can really do no wrong. And I would really be interested, because with these directors, you kind of need to have them all be able to interact with each other and bounce ideas off each other and build, because it's going to be a communal thing. I think he would do such a good job with helping others in a producer role to bring out their stuff and their style. So that's why I went with Ryan Coogler.
I like that reasoning. You guys are getting like
that's
into
really
the
good.
whole. You're really like fantasizing this studio idea more than I even thought of.
Right. I mean,
He's got like
in
his
a weird
directors
way-
working together.
Yeah, in a weird way, this is a bit of a locker room where you have to have, if this is a brain trust and a creative brain trust, you kind of do need some really good people that can work together. And and I know we're at some point in our 10, we're going to mix auteurs with, you know, commercial, you know, kind of hands, but this could get weird if you don't with the weird mix, you know?
Yeah, definitely. All right. So I get to go back to back. Blessing and a curse. And I mean, I will absolutely, I mean, I was typing in Denis Villeneuve into Zoe's box as she was talking, and I was wrong, but I'm going to take Denis Villeneuve because of very similar reasons. I mean, I think that the fact that we have Dune 1 in this decade already, and that we're going to get the second part, I just think that everything he's shown us has proven that he is one of these directors that is probably never going to miss. And I think at some point in this decade, he's going to get away from the blockbuster path that he has set himself on at this point. And he will do some more amazing work in the vein of, Prisoners, or even, I can't, what's the one that starts with an I? Crap. Incendies, right. Like, I mean, I absolutely love Incendies. I think that all of his work is just phenomenal. And at this point, he has the notoriety to where if he was to make a movie like Incendies that was in French and so much, of a smaller picture, like it would get more noticed because of who he is and the success that he's had. So I think he's going to bring the studio both the box office and the award success. And I'm going to pair him with someone else who I think is coming into their own right now. I wish I could get previous films for this person, but I have full faith that they are going to take off like a rocket ship, and Zoe's going to probably be mad at me, but that's okay. I am going to take Greta Gerwig as my next
Excellent
pick
choice.
because I think she's my top female director on my board, and I really do strongly believe that she's going to make enough films. That's one of the difficult problems when I was looking at making my list, was trying to parse out like how many movies are these people going to actually make in a decade. Some of these directors, like they don't.
Once every now and then,
yeah. One specific female director that I was really intrigued by, and I won't mention her until she potentially comes up. We'll talk about that. But yeah, so I'm going to go with Denis Villeneuve and Greta Gerwig as my back-to-backers.
Yeah. You're right, though. Like, they don't make them like they used to. Like Woody Allen used to make a movie every year. Clint Eastwood used to make a movie every year. Those folks are few and far between.
All right, so that puts us back to Patrick again.
Hey, now.
All right. So for
Make it
my
good.
second, I wanted to also quit threatening me to make it good. It'll be good, Don. Okay, how about that?
You got it.
No, I went with The Daniels. Everything Everywhere. It was one of my favorite movies of the year, if not my favorite movie of the year. We'll see what happens with Babylon, because Damien Chazelle was on my list, so I'm a little bit like, wish it was him. But The Daniels, Swiss Army Man was weird, but in a good way. Everything Everywhere is just, balls out fun, and in some ways, literally. It just works on so many levels, and I think these creators have a way to approach something that's high concept and make it seem approachable to any audience, and that's what I would like for my directors. No more basic plot points. We're gonna get weird with it, but we're gonna make it palatable for everybody.
Wow, I like that. That's definitely an upside pick. That's what we call that. That's a projected upside pick where you're like, they're not really broken out just yet because we haven't had the award season where their recognition truly comes, but it's going to happen, and that's just
weren't they gonna do Loki, for God's sakes? That's amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, good one, Zoe.
Okay, I am gonna go with Barry Jenkins on this one, because not only is he very skilled in the indie circuit, obviously he's an Oscar winner, Moonlight and If Beale Street Could Talk are amazing, but he's also directing the Lion King prequel, which comes out in 2024, I believe. And I have a hard time seeing that not be a box office juggernaut. And I don't know if that movie will specifically be big in the awards space, but I know that whatever he does next, and for the rest of the decade, likely will. So I think he's very skilled at kind of going back and forth between both worlds, and I have all the hope in him that he's going to have a great rest of the 2020s.
Yeah, he's definitely, I think, getting on the one for you, one for me train.
Yeah.
And that is a really good thing.
No fault for that either. That's kind of how it works. You need it.
Get your money, and that way you don't have to make as much of a paycheck in order to make your passion project. It's wonderful.
Definitely. If you didn't, Zoe, I was with Barry Jenkins. He was number 2 on my overall board. Like, I was, when you guys are starting to pick some of those other ones, I'm like, ooh, can Barry make it back to me? And he did.
Almost.
Yeah, almost. Oh, is this me and back to back here?
It is.
Oh. Okay. Ooh, and 10 years, right?
10 total years. 2020 through 2029.
And all right. I got to, because I know he'll be gone by the time it comes on my turn. Christopher Nolan, please. You have to.
Okay.
The Prestige is there. I'm almost like Damien. The Prestige is there. The
Technically,
box
the Prestige
certainly is there.
There.
What's that?
I said technically the Prestige is not there.
Correct. Yeah. Legacy sequel time, guys. No. But everything Nolan touches. it's expensive compared to Chazelle in terms of the studio thing, but man, everything he touches gets attention. Can establish your studio, can set your studio up with credibility in terms of just that guy represents film as it is, and even in being in a cantankerous way that he does, it's still, I mean, that's a lion-hearted guy for the industry, and he may have his picadillos in terms of just what he wants, but what he wants is very positive for the medium and for the art. So I respect that, and at some point he's going to make the right thing that wins that big one. So I like that chance in the next 10 years where Christopher Nolan. Back to back. Oh, see, this is hard because here's the long wait for me. Another one I can't let leave the board. Ooh, do I go last minute or do I go future? Oh, man. Okay, hold on. This is killing me. I'm between. I'm just going to talk it out because they're between. I don't want to talk it out and do table.
No, don't talk it out. Don't talk it out. Don't say the name of anybody you're not picking.
Okay. Shoot. Okay. I'm so mad. All right. The one I don't pick, I will mention and scream out loud when it comes here.
Okay.
I'll take Jordan Peele, please.
Okay.
Good choice. Take Jordan Peele. Yeah. Same thing. Much like Chazelle. I can repeat myself, but everything he touches draws attention, and at this point, everything he touches is drawing a little bit of box office too. And his creativity, his ability to kind of transcend some genres. I know he won his Oscar for in a way of first time out with Get Out, where we keep wondering if he's going to get that next bite of the apple, much like Chazelle. But he makes enough things in terms of productivity as well for the 10 years, where I bet there's 5 films in that guy's future in 10 years where. Yeah, I'll take Jordan Peele and leave somebody on the board. I'm gonna be really mad that I'm missing because I don't think they're gonna make it back. But yeah, I'm super stoked by those two.
Yeah, no, it's a great first 3 for sure.
Whew, yep.
All right, Zoe, take whoever it was that Dawn wanted right now.
I know it's coming right off the board. Like, because Zoe's probably sitting there like, how do you leave this guy off the board, especially if you wait?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Steven Spielberg. Is that who? It was?
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
That was it. That was it.
I mean, The Fabelmans alone, I think, has the chance to be a very big Oscar juggernaut this year, and it has a really good holiday release date as like potentially like an all ages, like drama that people can go see. And I also think, he's not done. He said this is not his, last film, so anything he does most often is, gets a lot of attention. He usually gets a lot of box office dollars, West Side Story aside. So I feel pretty comfortable like taking one of the world's greatest directors and having him in my studio.
Yeah, it's a great choice. He's in this group of, and I actually have him split off in my list that I made. Like there's like a little subsection over here of like, I don't know if they're going to make it 10 years. Directors.
But if all you get is one. Right?
Yeah. If all you get is 1 or 2, is it enough? Are those 2 going to be big enough? Obviously, Spielberg. Yes, the answer is yes, as well. So, yeah, not very smart pick. All right, Patrick.
All right, this is going to be an out there pick. This is a wild one. I'm going to go with Bradley Cooper.
Okay. The Upside. That's the name of your studio, is The Upside.
I like it.
Right there.
Yep, that's total upside pick. Love it.
He can get talent. He can bring in people. He's very good in the director's chair, and he's good in the actor's seat. Not something that happens very often with the actor-director combo. And he's not done a lot of stuff. Like he's done enough, but I'd love to see what further he could expand on, especially if he's given the backing of a full studio and all the money and stuff like that.
Yeah, I can't argue with that. I like that Upside Studios label that Aaron's putting on you here. I picked up my studio name, but I'll save it to the end.
Rookie picks.
Rookies. I like it.
Yeah, it's good. It's good stuff. I mean, I think, Maestro is gonna be incredible, of course. And so you kind of pair that back to back success. He could very well just take off like a rocket ship at that point. He's already got the awards prestige behind his name, even in being so junior. All right. Yeah. Like you guys said, it gets tougher now. And everything it's more of a mixed group, I think, where a lot of these folks are interchangeable, and you're really trying to pick the right one and get lucky. So I think for my first of my two, I'm going to go with Bong Joon-ho, because I fully believe that at this point, due to Parasite's success, he's become a household name, which is incredible. In America, I should say, he's become a household name, which is incredible. And the next film up is an adaptation of a science fiction novel that I absolutely loved. The concept is great. It's called Mickey 7. And so it's something that is very blockbustery in the vein of like The Martian or Moon. And it has a, well-known cast. And I think from him to go from kind of quiet release, incredible story of Parasite and winning an Oscar, to then essentially like a sci-fi blockbuster, I think that's putting him on the path, because we know that he's not going to just do that for the rest of his career. He's going to go back and he's going to make more Parasites. I believe in that. So he's my next pick. And then this is so tough. Like there's somebody that I really want, but I don't think you're going to, I don't think you guys are going to take him, but I would be crushed. You
said that
if
in
you
other
did.
drafts. And
I know.
30 Days of Night. It's coming.
The fact that you've taken like all my guys on already. That was
I know.
Crazy. Somebody took 30 Days a Night from me, and I was like, what?
Come on.
Oh my goodness. Listen,
I'm
going with this is a heart pick. Patrick's doing some crazy stuff. I'm gonna do some crazy stuff. I'm gonna go with Makoto Shinkai. This is my animation director of choice, and maybe never going to ever even be nominated for an Oscar at this point. It's ridiculous. It drives me crazy the way that anime is not treated respectfully by the Oscars, but his films have box office success no matter what. And they just continue to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And again, it's a heart pick. I feel like my lineup is strong enough, and I have to have an animation director in here to make myself feel good. So yeah, I'll go with Bong Joon-ho and Makoto Shinkai, and then throw it back to Patrick. Thank you.
Well, yeah, those are really good picks. I don't know whether I should go with the one that's proven box office, but there's another that's underdog and can really shine based on the stuff that they've been doing that everyone has absolutely loved. So I'm gonna go.
I think with your studio, you got.
Yeah, I think that might be good for you.
I'm gonna go.
Come
with
on,
Bryce
that's
Dallas
you
Howard.
right now.
Bryce Dallas Howard. Ooh.
That's
I think
ballsy.
the work that she's been doing with The Mandalorian has been stellar, and I'm very excited to see what she does in the future with that. And I hope nobody takes the next person that I want. So I'm gonna just knock on wood for that.
Do we know
Bryce
if
Dallas Howard.
Bryce has any films coming up? Does she
I don't know.
got anything on the horizon?
Check real fast.
Yeah.
Hopefully she doesn't end up just a TV director.
My list in fear when you guys say a name, so I have it pulled up.
Yeah. She was on my list. I'm not gonna lie. Because same thing. Just the potential and upside with her is fantastic, especially if she makes that leap from TV to film. But I can't take her at 5th. Oh man. Oh, this is like his 4th pick. Ooh, ballsy, Patrick. Ballsy.
Patrick is making the kind of picks that will not get any votes right now, but in 10 years when we revisit this, he's going to make us look stupid. Yeah, that's exactly what's going to happen.
Like 5-time Oscar winner, the Daniels. Yeah, we're going to look real stupid. Yep. Yep.
All right, Zoe.
Okay, so this is another director, kind of like Barry Jenkins, who has been in both, the indie space and found success, but also, had a recent big blockbuster, and it's Chloe Zhao. And I know Eternals wasn't a total, masterpiece, it had the critical, revolt and everything, but I think she still has a really great directorial vision. I think that was more with Marvel's tinkering than her artistry. And I always think that when she goes back to indies, the Oscars will come calling again. And I like to see what else she does in the blockbuster space. I think she was going to do something with Dracula. I think there's a lot of potential for her still, especially with 7 years left in this decade. So I want her on my team.
Yeah.
I like it.
Phenomenal.
Yeah. Can't argue with her talent.
No doubter there, in my opinion, as well.
Yeah. And she's frequent enough with like turnaround that we were talking about where you're going to get a film every 2 years from Chloe Zhao.
Can I plug The Writer as her best movie and the movie everybody needs to see since we just mentioned her?
I concur.
I adore the movie so freaking much.
Oh man. Wait, we're back
All
to
right,
me, aren't we?
Don. Yeah, times 2.
Oh my gosh, this is times 2.
I know.
Like Aaron, I always had an animation director in mind as well. I will take Pixar's best, Pete Docter, please. I don't know if he has a movie coming up. I know those things have long production times, but everything. I mean, has he won what 2, 3 animation Oscars for things where I mean, to me, he's Pixar's best going, and I might strike out where maybe for all I know he's slowing down and moving away. But if that's a guy who only gives you 2 movies in 10 years, just to kind of, as you know, playing the whole studio thing, establishing that area of your studio, giving you credibility and quality products, and all of those Pixar movies make zillions of dollars where you're going to get some profit there. So, and quality. So yeah, I'm going.
Unless they send him straight to Disney Plus.
What's that?
Unless they send him straight to Disney Plus, and they don't.
I know. That's my fear, is a little bit like I need cinema to come back. So
yeah.
Back to back. Oh, see, there's directors I personally don't like, but I know they're good, and that's my problem. I'm a bit of a red ass about some people. I know, like, play with your head, not your heart, but I'm gonna pass over the 2 people that are cinephile, wonderful people, and I'll let you know when they come off the list here. And I'm gonna go more towards. Oh my gosh, what am I doing? That's crazy. Don't pick that. Shoot. What am I doing? Okay, I got Pete Docter, right?
This is all right. Happens when you have 107 people on the list.
And you know who was number 107? Bryce Dallas Howard.
Oh my gosh!
Not that was like the rank of it, but that was like the one at the end where I'm like, you know what? She deserves a spot here where that's consideration.
That's really cool. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. All right, I'm changing my mind. I'm going to somebody who I'll go for the artsy crowd. Gotta get my indie base. Give me Wes Anderson.
Okay. That's a good pick.
It is a good pick. I'm just not. I'm not normally a Wes head kind of guy. Like, his movies don't normally hit me, but he is good about same thing. Putting movies out, putting something out there that gets you attention, brings big stars, brings good business. You never hear a bad thing about the guy. And in terms of the way he runs his shows, economical from a studio standpoint in terms of budget and all that. And at some point, same thing. I know he should have won more than he did for the Grand Budapest Hotel years ago, but he too will find that one that hits for him, where the windfall's coming to him. You know, he's going to have that 3 Oscar night like other guys have had, where screenplay, director, and picture are all going to be in his hands sometimes. So, yeah, Wes Anderson.
Awesome.
Yeah. Ooh. Oh, and the agonizing wait. Oh.
Yeah, now you get to take a break for a while.
Yeah, drink this wine.
All right, Zoe.
Oh god, this is tough because I'm going through a couple right now, but I think I'm gonna go with John M. Chu. Particularly because he has 2 Wicked movies coming out in the next few years. And I don't know, I think he's a great director. He was huge with Crazy Rich Asians. In the Heights was woefully passed over.
And you get In the Heights. Like, you, that's credit for this decade. So.
Yeah,
right.
I know. And it deserves, and I think that he's really, like, gained a big following in the industry. Obviously, he got Wicked off that. So I think even beyond Wicked, he'll continue to do great things that delight critics and bring in the crowd. So, yeah, I want him in my corner.
I love it. He's definitely one of my sleeper. I was hoping that he would fall quite a bit.
Me too.
To me, but unfortunately not. Patrick, you're up.
Well, I'm going to go with less the independent underdog and go for the surefire bet. I'm going Jon Favreau.
Okay. All right.
Ooh.
John Favreau
arguably
is
his
what
best
started
years been
the
behind him?
MCU. I know we could say it was Kevin Feige, but he was boots on the ground. He was doing the movie, and that thing would not have made it without him and his direction to Downey and all of them to do the ad lib while there was no script. Elf, I mean, it's incredible. I think that he has a very big capacity to be kind of moving forward as far as technology and advancing things like that. So if you're moving into the next decade and you want to know how the next 10 years are going to look as far as movies go, he's going to be the person that's spearheading that. And so not only that, but with being somebody that collaborates with everybody, it's just going to be a good fit for the team.
Yeah, that's definitely true. He's going to bring you box office success regardless. So, I mean, I know he has Jungle Book 2 already in the hopper. It's a ways off, but it's going to make bank, period. Like those movies, just like Zoe said with The Lion King, it doesn't really matter if it's good or not. It's going to make hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars because it's Disney.
And he'll do independent films. Chef is underrated.
Yeah. Chef is an absolute all-timer for me. I would love, if you picking him in this draft inspires him to go back and make us another indie film like Chef, that's my wish, because that movie is phenomenal. I love it so much. I'm wanting a Cubano now, just even thinking about the movie. All right. Man, I've got plenty of...
It's a big board.
Mid-range. I got plenty of mid-range picks, but I feel like I might as well swing some big hitters off to add to my studio that I think this is going to be big plays. So despite the fact that he may not make it the entire decade, to be completely honest, he's very much like Spielberg, and knowing that I'm going to get a minimum of 2 movies out of him, give me Martin Scorsese, because there's just no doubt that his movies are events and are awards darlings. This is going to happen, period. Unfortunately, you're probably not going to get any box office success because of stupid Netflix. So thanks a lot. But
hey,
I
remember,
do.
We're playing fantasy where they're coming to our studio. All right, come on. Yeah.
That's true. In my imaginary studio, Killers of the Flower Moon is going to make like $500 million. But
$500 million.
But he has that, and then he
62.
has. I can't remember. There's I think it's a presidential biopic or something that he's got on the horizon.
You're right. There's a second. Yeah. If those are the only 2 you get, you could get some good ones from Martin. Same as like you said with Spielberg. Like you get 2 good ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll go with him, and then I am, for my next pick, going to take Christopher McQuarrie, because as long as we got a mic drop. Look at that, or a phone drop. As long as Tom Cruise doesn't die on a set, I'm good.
You got.
I don't think I really need to explain
it.
So I kind of went back and forth between some guys in that same vein of filmmaker, but I think it's his decade.
Wink, wink. We know who
to be at the top of the ladder. I'm sure you do. And so there we go. Martin Scorsese and Christopher McQuarrie. I got my arts and I got my box office, and I feel very good about those 2.
Yeah, good balance.
Thank you.
You also got what my next pick was going to be, so thanks a lot.
Oh no. Well, take a second to recover. Yeah,
because I have a backup for him. But it's not as good.
I do too.
I already know that. So
I know.
What do you do?
You still take it.
You know what? I say let's go for it. I think James Wan would be a great pick to the team. He's got proven box office success. Also can do independent film. Also $1 billion films, and also a collaborator, can work with everybody else. Great to have him. Horror movies are great.
That's a really good pick, because you said it. He can do the little stuff. He can do the big stuff, and success everywhere he goes. Great pick.
I hope he does another horror movie. I would love to see him direct something again versus just producing. I need him to get back in that chair, because some of the stuff that he's done that he just produces has not been as great for me, but everything that he directs himself, I've loved. So
You could say that about a lot of directors, though. Like James Cameron in the producer
yeah.
chair when it comes to his Terminator films. Oof.
Yeah.
Not perfect. Yeah. Not a perfect rate. All right. Zoe, you're, what is it, number 6? Yeah, 6.
Okay. So this is the director who started in the indies phase, made a movie I love with all my heart, and has now leveled up to blockbusters in a big way. And I think he knocked it out of the park last year, and he gets to do more very soon, and that's Destin Daniel Cretton.
Oh, yes.
Who, we'll have Shang-Chi 2 and the first of the new, the end of this phase of the Avengers movies, which should be huge at the box office. But I don't know, I'm also hopeful that he'll return to indies like Short-Term 12 sometime in the future, which I adore that movie, and I really hope he does, because I think the industry, would be willing to embrace him, and I think he could really strike out now that he's a bigger name. So
I love it. I like that we're getting into that area now where I think some more people like that are going to be coming out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. Like you're stealing Patrick's upstarts here, like some of these those next step springboard people. You're right. We're in that spot. Oh no, it's me, isn't it? Oh.
It is. Yeah.
Man, why do I always have the loudest sighs? Killing Karen Ellen's microphone. All right, one no doubter that I wanted, that I was begging would make it all the way back here, and I'm glad they did. This is more of an awards prestige pick, but also I just really value the man's quality, and at the same time, the box office returns I think can grow, and they've grown little bits and pieces with each one he's done. I'll take Steve McQueen.
Ooh.
Where I know. I'll take Steve McQueen, where I know he's, in a way, he seems like maybe another one of those directors that they got their Oscar. Can they ever get another? But when I watch, Widows, and I watch things that he's done since, I know he doesn't make a ton of films, but I just think of the credibility that he brings to what he does. I think he can work across several genres. So far, I know he's not quite really spanning out to do a ton of things super duper different, but can really do something good. After that, oh my goodness, here we go. Gotta find that next one.
Now you're making the turn to 7, so you got to start thinking
home stretch
long
here,
term
right?
now.
I know.
Yeah.
See, well, the other indie guy that I don't normally like is still on the board, but I'm not taking 2 of them. Shoot. Ooh, I don't like you either.
Why are they on your list?
Yeah, because you have to respect.
Because they're good.
I'll say it. Because they're good. I'm not gonna say who they are. Aaron, I don't like this person, but it'll come up in a little bit. Someone's gonna pick this person. Shoot. Oh, I'm frozen in my spot here. I will take Sam Mendes.
All right.
I know his Bond days are behind him, and he's pivoting elsewhere, but 1917 and everything he touches also is so different from the last thing he's done. Also brings a same thing we said with so many people. Brings awards prestige wherever he goes, or at least just brings the intrigue, brings the stars. Makes same thing, economical, fantastic, spectacle level movies that can play. I can play with an audience and play at the Oscars, where I just like what he can do, and he's high on my board. I know, not a young guy anymore, but I want that. Yeah, Sam Mendes, please.
All right, good choice. Or
Well,
we'll
it's
find out
better
real
than-
soon if it was a good choice. Actually, when Empire
Yeah,
Light lands.
Yeah, I know. I hear mixed
divisive
reviews
so far. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's no blonde, but yeah, oh boy.
Oh boy. Yeah. Zoe.
So I'm going to continue my trend of cribbing from Marvel, but I'm going to take Taika Waititi because, he's very proven in the blockbuster space. I think a lot of people love his signature humor, But he's also very good. He came from the indie scene, and Jojo Rabbit was a huge success, and he has Next Goal Wins that has been pushed back, and I've heard amazing things about, that film and Michael Fassbender, and I think that it could be a feel-good awards player next year. So I think he'll continue alternating back and forth through the end of the decade, and yeah, I think he's a fresh new voice in film that we need. Plus his Star Wars movie. So.
Oh yeah, there you go. Mm-hmm. Box office. Yeah, you just kind of, it's like, oh, check box, yeah. Got that. Yeah. Thanks for the ticket.
Zoe needs to name her studio Scrooge McDuck. She's gonna have a vault of money that she swims in.
All right, Patrick, we're back to you.
I know I'm stalling. Yeah, it is. It's getting down to the wire here. All good picks and all ones that I was just going to say before they were going through. This person, I think, would be a good choice, mainly because they have a proven box office, but we don't know how a certain film is going to come out, or if it's going to come out, or what's going to happen with it. I think we all know what I'm talking about. It's Andy Muschietti.
Oh, yeah.
It made $1 billion. I mean, that's a pretty insane thing for a horror film to accomplish. As well, he would work well with James Wan. I just think that he has an ability to bring together a group and have team up films. Maybe a horror heist film could be fun. No, not Zack Snyder's stuff. We're not doing that.
That's funny that you mentioned that. I actually, since you just brought up his name, I don't know if he'll get drafted or not. I don't even have him on my board, which is hilarious. I mean, I'm a Snyder fan, and I love all of his movies, mostly. But I forgot him. I forgot he existed when I was doing this, and that's crazy to me.
Yeah, I am. No, that's a really Andy cool Muschietti. Pick. I had Andy Muschietti at 106, right above Bryce Dallas Howard, right there at the bottom. Of the
this
board.
Is hilarious. I love that you have him ranked, and we can. That's so great. Patrick's
no,
next
I don't
pick
think he's the 100. I mean, I don't think he's the 106th best person, but just the way it landed,
That is pretty funny.
Yeah.
Has your 105th been taken yet? Just out of curiosity.
No, it's a documentary filmmaker who's not going to get taken. Joshua Oppenheimer.
Patrick's got a few more choices. He might.
I see one down there. He might take. I'm just saying. Yeah.
All right. Now I'm gonna start taking a little bit of some swings here. Probably. I want Emerald Fennell in my studio. I need someone who is up and coming, who has the whole of a decade ahead of them and hasn't got a ton of success behind him other than the one movie. But I think that she is poised to, along with Greta Gerwig and Chloe Zhao, be one of the biggest female directors of this decade, to really kind of take this to the next level. I'm excited for what she's got coming, for sure. So I want to take a swing with her, and I'm gonna give.
I know, because once you take one swing, you take another swing.
Everybody else in this zone for me feels very much kind of equal in a lot of ways. It's just a matter of
sure. I have halves. I have prestige halves. I have box office halves.
Yeah, I do. I do as well. Yeah. I think I'm gonna get a little bit of a different vibe here. You know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna be a homer, and I'm gonna take.
No.
In the moment, right now, I am completely scrambled and just relentless about this movie because I just saw it less than 24 hours ago. So I'm going to go and take Andrew Dominique. Ooh. I think his last two have been phenomenal. I know that Bond is divisive, but I still think that there are a million awards-worthy things about this movie, no matter how people feel about it emotionally. And I think that he is the kind of artistic director that will be able to at least gain that kind of recognition regardless. And I'm so enamored with his view and his vision in his films that I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna take him. So give me Emerald Fennell
right.
and Andrew Dominique.
Okay. That I like that because like you retroactively get Fennell's Oscar for the screenplay, and then Dominic could get you like hard part for Dominic is like what's the next movie he makes? Like it might be 5-6 years again, but you got this one, and that might
That's
be
true.
all you
It
need.
might.
Might be all you need. And
We'll
yeah,
see.
the artistic cred is rock solid with that guy. Ooh.
All right, Patrick.
No, Don, what were you going to say?
No, I keep realizing I'm not doing a very good job of being on camera because I keep looking down at the board, just agonizing, and where I'm like looking at I feel like a student in class who's like, I know you're smiling and looking at your phone right now, like, yeah,
You're
I don't wanna be
fine.
that
We're
guy.
not performing.
I'm gonna come back
It's-
on camera.
It's good.
Mhm.
Yeah.
When I bend down to look at the phone, it looks like I'm just like trying to go to sleep by accident or something.
Yeah.
So I'll go with an independent artsy person too, Aaron. Tommy Wiseau. Let's pick him for number. I'm just kidding.
Wait, okay. I was for a second. With
holy
your
cow.
draft, I wasn't 100% sure.
What if I just?
You
like,
don't want me to
stood by
cuss,
that?
right? Come on. Okay. All right. You
I
swerved
just
me
wanted to
good.
see if we could get there. No, I'm gonna go with Ava Duvernay. I think she
Excellent choice.
Solid.
is a very important voice and is very good at bringing structure to story, and her documentary work is incredible, and I don't have anybody that's done any documentaries so far, I think. And I would be very honored to have her part of my team.
I like what you
Yeah.
did there because like she can make a feature or she can make a documentary and score just as great with what we're doing here. Great pick.
Mhm.
Yeah, I like her as well.
That's awesome.
A lot.
Mm.
All right, Zoe.
I feel like this might be a divisive pick too, but I'm gonna go with Baz Luhrmann because
Ooh, because
know,
you
he-
Love it.
Austin Butler.
not the only reason, but I do think there's something about his movies that usually attracts award attention, even if it's in the
Mhm.
below the line categories. But this year we also have a surefire acting contender, and like who knows if it can pick up some like picture nominations at certain groups as well. It's a huge success, like it made like 150 million, I think, domestically, which is like really unheard of for stuff that like isn't superhero related these days and directed at adults. And I think he's like a marquee filmmaker that a lot of like normal everyday audience members want to gravitate towards. So I think that not only will Elvis be big, but whatever he does next will also like build on the success, and I'm pretty hopeful having him.
Yeah, definitely. Hopefully another musical, like a real, like
Mhm.
traditional musical. That's what I want more of.
Oh man.
Don, we're at you.
Here comes the sigh. All right.
It's your last time with back to back, so keep that in
Yeah,
mind.
and then
that
I
you will
have
the
Mr.
final
Relevant
pick
at
of
the
the
end, right?
draft.
Okay. So these two got to be hitters here. All right. I'm seeing I think you're all seeing what I'm seeing, where there's like, not that there's obviously we said where there's Steven and there's Martin in terms of those veterans that are extraordinary, and all they might need is one or two films in the next 10 years, and you feel great about what they've done. I feel like there's a big veteran tier of a lot of former Oscar winners that have not been picked yet, that you can go a lot of different ways, but at the same time, when was their last film? How often are they really going to keep going? Not that they're super old, but they're just not prolific, and that's something that steers me away from running my little studio, where I would love to take so many of these wonderful directors that are good, but I wonder if they've already peaked. And not that I have upstart studios like Patrick over there, but I do try to point where I can in the future, at least a little. So, oh man, I'm also trying to do like a little bit like where there's still an Oscar hope. You know what? Nope. I'm gonna do a just straight up fun box office pick. Give me Chad Stahelski from the John Wick series.
All
Where
right.
I just like the next thing I know Wick will run out of gas, but the next thing he does, I think he's just going to keep going, making fun stuff, and it'll be action to be fun. It'll just bring a good crowd. I don't have a bad thing to say about what the action he does, where it's not one of those problematic action directors where like, I'm not taking Michael Bay here, I'm not taking a a time bomb for your studio, or somebody who's going to give you a black eye, or deliver a lemon. Stahelski's going to give you something solid. So he's a long way down my list, but I just like what he does. And
well, let me throw this out there, Don.
Yeah.
With Stahelski. So you're getting John Wick Chapter 4.
I
He
am.
also is in pre-production for and announced another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 films that are already like agreed upon, and many of them are obviously action films. One of them is Highlander, which is
Right.
going to have a cult following, and one of them is Ghost of Tsushima, which is an incredible video game adaptation, potential for a video game adaptation. So, yeah,
That's
I
the
think
thing.
he's a great like volume pick.
Right. And I feel like if you do a volume pick, it's got to be, at least for this sort of thing, it's action or horror. And I know you folks have taken the James Wans and all that, but I know they haven't made a lot of those, and the hard part with taking horror is you'll get regular consistent films, and you'll get box office winners because they're so affordable and they make money. You might not get those Oscar things, but you get a pretty good director in terms of just production. And I might go 2 in a row and do that where I did. And I'm not a horror guy, Aaron. I'm not a horror guy. But with Stahelski kind of covering action for me, because Christopher McQuarrie's off the board and Joseph Kosinski doesn't make enough movies, I'm going to do the coin toss of horror here, the imaginary coin toss. Here we go. Ari Aster, please, for horror.
Yeah, it's a good pick.
Well, to me, his movies, he makes more. He makes more movies more often, and his movies just seem to hit with audiences just a little bit more than another horror director of the same ilk, which I'm not supposed to name because someone's going to pick him. But yeah,
Probably.
I'll take Ari Aster. Probably.
good.
On this flip side here.
He was in my I don't really like his movies, but I would
Same.
said if I had him on my team list. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel good. Like, same thing. Like, I might not be his guy, but I'm glad he's on my team.
All right, Zoe.
Okay, so this is a bit of an unconventional pick. She hasn't done, I mean, maybe one pretty solid movie so far, like that was kind of big. But it's Nia DaCosta. And
Yes.
I've been
Good
a fan
choice.
of her since Little Woods. And I think Candyman was directed very well, like even if you had misgivings about the script, and it was pretty successful for itself. And now she's in Marvel as well. So yeah, still continuing the trend. But I think that whenever she does go back to indie film, like a lot of these other directors I've chosen, she'll definitely be welcomed into the club as well. And I think a lot of people are really excited about her and what she's doing. So
Love it.
Mm-hmm. That's a good pick.
All right, Patrick.
All right. For the last one, I'm going to go with
You got 2.
a superhero director.
Two to
we
go.
got 2? Oh, snap. That makes it even cooler. Okay. I
I
was going to
know,
go
right?
for superhero directors with this one. I'm choosing between a couple, but I do think the one that I'm going with has more of a proven track record and has been able to transition from one major superhero studio to another superhero genre. So I'm going to go with James Gunn.
Oh, that's a
Good
big
pick.
I'm
fandom
shocked
pick.
nobody
Yeah.
put James Gunn in theirs yet. Like, I was sitting here like, really, nobody? But then I wouldn't put him in because I kept thinking maybe you'll. But yeah,
No, I mean you're absolutely
There's
right.
a lot
Your
of
money,
people who are like, we haven't picked them yet.
money, and you might get the rare. I mean, he's not going to get you Oscars. I guess that's probably like his type of prestige. His indie style is definitely not typical Oscar
Maybe
or
an
Academy
Emmy.
Award fare. Maybe, maybe,
Yeah.
definitely, for
Too
the
bad
show.
we're not
yeah.
counting Emmys. No. Yeah.
and
I don't
he'll
know,
get you
maybe-
the money
maybe we
too.
will.
He'll get you
I
that.
don't know, we'll see.
He'll get you buku bucks.
Yeah, you got the money for sure. All right, is this? No, it's not
Aaron,
your last. It's next
is
next
it.
to last. Oh no, it's me. It's not Patrick back to back.
You
I
have
don't know
2.
why.
And this is it.
This is it? No, this is. Oh,
for
this
you.
is it. Oh my goodness
This is it
gracious!
for you. Last
That's
2.
pressure,
I
man.
know.
There's. I mean, there are some big
It's a
like Oscar
big
directors
board.
that are
Yeah.
out there, and
But
there are
they've
some
already
big
had their
budgets.
time.
Some of them, most of them.
I know.
I first off, Matt Reeves. Give me Matt Reeves. I don't know why I haven't taken him already. I want my superhero guy. Do I have any others? I don't think I do. So I need at least one of them in my group. And I'm looking at my list over here, and wow, man, I have some. I mean, I'm very happy with it.
Yeah.
Do I want to go really?
This is your.
I gonna
feel like you took your swings. It's solid time for you.
Well, there's two directors that are going to have movies out that I think are going to be potential for winning something this year, or at least for recognition this year. And it's a matter of which one I think is going to be bigger, like propulsion off of this. And you know what? I would not feel like I was being true to myself if I didn't do it. So I'm going to take Joseph Kosinski. I need to to feel safe. Like I did.
Look at
the
that
right
1-2
thing.
action punch.
I am
Look at that.
a gigantic Top Gun stan from the beginning. So I think that it is the blockbuster movie that is going to have a chance to get this kind of recognition at the Oscars this year. And who knows if it happens, maybe we will see that snowball a little bit and it will start to become more of a norm for this type of movie when they're really, really good. So give me those guys. Two big wins from this year.
And if not, you always have Spiderhead.
Yeah.
Great job.
Oh, yeah. Well, unfortunately, this is the first Kosinski movie I haven't personally liked. Like, I love all of his movies until that. And I was like, man, Netflix. Okay. All right. Well, I'm done. And now everybody else gets to make their final pick. Not all at once, though. Patrick goes first.
All right. Final pick for me is going to be David Fincher. Yeah, you want a good team, but sometimes you want somebody that's off in the corner making their own stuff and doesn't want to be bothered by anybody else. But when they show up with something, it's kind of the person that's in the group project that's like, you guys just chill. I'm going to take care of it, because they'd rather not talk to you. They'd rather just get the job done. That's David Fincher for you. So in a pinch, he could do that. And he's very good at getting the best out of his performers. It's a good deal, I think.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, humongous, like
Quality.
Definitely for the prestige side, and can bring you blockbuster type success with adult drama thriller when they get to the theater. Again, stop going to Netflix.
My other fear is
future predictions with the Social Network. He does stuff.
Yeah.
Like he predicts things basically.
That's true.
My fear is when's his next movie? You know, like he's taken some years in between them, but maybe he's that same thing where if you only get 2, they could be huge.
Oh, they will. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, Zoe.
I'm super excited for Zoe's pick because she's man. Look at that list.
So I'm gonna go with old reliable. I'm gonna stop kind of the newcomer trend for this last one, because I've been waiting on this director because I only think they have one movie left, but I think that he's proven himself at the box office time and time again. I think that an awards coronation could be coming for his final film if it really is, and that's Quentin Tarantino.
Okay. Yeah, I was too nervous. I will admit, I was scared off. I mean, he may end up making like 2 or 3 more. He could totally prove us wrong. So
I know.
It's a gamble.
I know. I think he's taking some time off after Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, but I'm like, there's 7 years left in the decade. Like, he could totally still get something out between now and then, and they always throw awards at him. So,
if there's a guy he's young enough to like be that guy who can't actually retire when he says he was going to, and who has the kind of just nonstop ideas that would drive him to keep making movies, even though he says he wants to be done. Like, I mean, he's that guy, right? Yeah. He's definitely that guy. So yeah, strong pick. Dawn, this is it.
Oh my gosh, man. All right. I know there's a lot of pedigree in the field than on the board, but I'm gonna take an upstart and steal a little bit of Patrick's mojo, because he's giving me. I'm watching him pick, just giving me all the excitement and mojo in the world, and I know I'm one of the. It sounds like I'm in one of the minority fans of her new movie, but I love what she can do, and I'll take Olivia Wilde in the last spot here because
Oh,
I just
okay.
I just love. I mean, Booksmart. It just impressed me to no end. I like Don't Worry, Darling, and even if she takes some lumps or some lemons for that, I don't see her knocked down enough where she can't surprise the hell out of us going forward. And if she keeps making movies every 2 years, I just like that clip. Where I admit I was a coin toss between her and like Lulu Wang, but the same thing with like The Farewell, which she hasn't. She's not as busy as Olivia Wilde, and same thing with Olivia Wilde from a studio standpoint. I mean, she brings just a professionalism I'm impressed with. Brings relationships with stars and folks as an actor's director, so to speak. Where I just like the way she carries herself, and one of those people like we've been saying in other picks. Like I just want her on my team. Simple as that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there you go. No, it's
Yeah.
a good one, and that will wrap it up. So before I
Oh
go
my
over
gosh.
all of our lists, and I will read through them for the audio listeners here in just a second, I wanted to kind of just talk through some crazy names that are not on our lists.
My board
Paul
is
Thomas Anderson,
stacked. He was
PTA,
number 9.
is
Yeah.
not on our list. Like, I feel like maybe we failed. I don't-
See,
I-
I
but I don't-
love PTA.
I don't trust him.
but yeah,
Yeah.
like he's actually like he's been nominated 11 times, never won. And his films don't blow the box office up. Like Licorice
No.
Pizza made like $17 million. So it's
Yeah,
like
I know.
I love you, but
That's what I don't trust.
Sorry.
No Patty
That's
Jenkins.
very, very true. No Patty Jenkins. Yeah, no Patty Jenkins. No
Yep.
Spike Lee.
Nope.
Uh,
Alfonso.
No
Cuarón.
Alfonso
Brothers.
Cuarón. Yeah.
Alejandro
Safdie brothers, they
Gonzalez
were
and
really
Inarritu.
close
yeah.
for me.
Safdie brothers.
Okay.
When I was down there with Ari Aster, I had Safdie brothers, Robert Eggers, and Ari Aster all in a row. Where I'm like,
I figured
ooh, one of them.
Eggers was your other,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
Del
I had
Toro.
Guillermo Del Toro, but I was
Oh,
nervous with
but
his
what's
box
he done?
office returns.
That's true.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was almost gonna say Todd Phillips for Joker 2.
Todd Phillips.
But
Yeah.
There's
yeah,
some money
I
there.
mean,
yeah.
There's money there.
James Mangold was my other one with Joseph Kosinski. It was
Yep.
between those two for me.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But between he's doing indie, and then
Coen
some
brothers?
other, Coen brothers aren't on here. Yeah, I mean, there's Brad Bird. I couldn't believe you said Pete Docter was the best animation director out of Pittsburgh when Brad Bird and Andrew Stanton.
I didn't say
exist,
out of
but
Pittsburgh. I just said out of Pixar.
out of Pixar. I'm sorry. That's when my face lit up. Like, are you
Well,
crazy?
But Brad doesn't make enough movies. Where
I know.
Pete is
You're right.
been a regular guy. So yeah.
No, you're right. It's a better puppy pick for this.
But you've got like then you have some of those like Ben Affleck makes fine movies as a director. Ryan Johnson, Adam McKay, the Russo
Ryan Johnson
brothers for
was
some money.
high consideration. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought, I almost said him, but with Netflix, I was like, the money's not going to be there. So that's,
That's true.
Yeah. If I hadn't
I
gotten
wish-
Emerald, I would have gone for Sean Hayter. It would have been my other upside
That's
like
true.
director pick. I
yeah,
think.
that's an upside one.
Mhm.
But like but then you have that old school group of people like Ridley Scott, Ron Howard,
Yeah.
Sam.
See, I don't think
Raimi.
he's gonna make it. I love Ridley,
no,
like to death,
same.
but I like
but
literally,
he's not gonna make it.
maybe to death. He may not. He may not.
Yeah.
I mean, that seems horrible. Edgar Wright was also one that
Edgar Wright,
John Watts.
he's never really had either success
John,
in a big
for
way.
the superhero side. John
Yeah,
Watts, you're right.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah. I also thought of Matt Shackman for who's did WandaVision and is going to do Fantastic
Right.
Four. Yeah.
Stepping up. That would have been my Bryce Dallas Howard pick, but there goes that.
Yeah.
That's the TV step up.
All right, well, let me run down the lists real quick for everybody listening. We started with Don, and Don's list, Don's studio reads like this: Damien Chazelle,
Do you need names, by the way?
Christopher. No, you can give them to me later. Think about them,
Okay.
and we'll put them out when we do the
I got
poll on social
Deal.
media. That gives everybody time to decide what they want to be called, not on the spot. So Don's got Damien Chazelle, Christopher Nolan, Jordan Peele, Pete Docter, Wes Anderson, Steve McQueen, Sam Mendes, Chad Stahelski, Ari Aster, and Olivia Wilde. Zoe has James Cameron, Barry Jenkins, Steven Spielberg, Chloe Zhao, John M. Chu, Destin Daniel Cretton, Taika Waititi, Baz Luhrmann, Nia DaCosta, and Quentin Tarantino. Patrick has Ryan Coogler, The Daniels, Bradley Cooper, Bryce Dallas Howard, Jon Favreau, James Wan, Andy Muschietti, Ava DuVernay, James Gunn, and David Fincher. And I have Denis Villeneuve, Greta Gerwig, Bong Joon-ho, Makoto Shinkai, Martin Scorsese, Christopher McQuarrie, Emerald Fennell, Andrew Dominique, Matt Reeves, and Joseph Kosinski. Those are our predictions and our studios. And yeah, be interesting to see what people think about this predictions. And, you know, if anybody agrees with any of us or if they think we're all crazy. And honestly,
I think we're all crazy. You're right.
Probably. My favorite part is when people come with reasons, though. You know, I love it when people respond. And so if you're listening to this, find us on social media when the polls go up or in Facebook groups, wherever we all are, which we'll talk about here in a second, and let us know what you would have picked differently. Like if somebody like just really you're passionate about that is not on any of these lists, but tell us why. Tell us why we're wrong. Kind of like we told you why we were picking our people. Let us know why you would have done it differently. Before we wrap up, if you guys could quickly tell the people where they can find you on social media, where they can find your work, where they can follow you, chat with you, all those good things. Don, I'll let you go first. Kick it off.
Sure. You can find my published work at 25YL, and also Every Movie Has a Lesson. I'm the co-host of the Cinephile Hissy Fit podcast. You can find that on anywhere you find your podcast stuff. Twitter, look for Casablanca Don, or obviously the Cinephile Hissy Fit, or my outlet of 25YL.
Zoe?
You can find my work on Next Best Picture, Awards Watch, and We Live Entertainment. And you can find me online on Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd at Zoe Rosebrien.
Patrick?
Find my reviews on patrickbeattyreviews.com and on YouTube, Patrick Beatty Reviews, Twitter, Pat B Reviews, and Instagram, Patrick Beatty Reviews.
And on TV at Good Things Utah.
That one. ABC4 Good Things Utah. It's so cool meeting all of you. I'm really excited that I got to do this. Thank you.
Oh, it is awesome having you, man. And I love that you do get to post clips sometimes of your show. So sometimes we can't actually watch you, even though we don't live in the state. Yeah, thank you.
His costume game is strong. It's amazing.
It is.
When they let me in there with a costume, I show up.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody, for being here. If you want to connect with me, you can do so. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Letterboxd, everywhere at Aaron L. White, AARON ELWHITE. And then there are links to everything in the show notes, the Feelin Film Facebook discussion group, etc. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed. We'll be back soon. Until then, keep watching and keep feeling film.